Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to what I'm going to bring back as the daily seasonal episode breakdown for the season. I don't know what the actual name is going to be is. I'll figure that out later down the road. But basically what I'm doing is I'm bringing back a series that I originally did a while ago, which was reviewing episodic seasonal anime that came out. Now, I stopped doing that just because I didn't really have the time to watch and upload daily like that. But I'm now on a proper set schedule to where I can potentially work out a way to do this where it makes more sense and I can actually sit down and work with stuff. So hopefully I can do this for you guys a lot more often. I'm also debating whether I want to put this and upload it as like a daily podcast thing, just for an audio version, just more revenue. But I'm not 100% sure about that yet, so I'm gonna work out the kinks before I actually do that. I will also say that this will potentially be an unedited, just fully upload me talking, and I mostly do that just because it helps just with the quickness of the uploads. I want this it's more or less going to be low effort content, pretty much, just for me to have an actual daily upload thing that I can do for the channel and for, to actually get more attention, because YouTube, man, it loves those daily uploads. It loves you pumping out content. So this is my solution to pumping out content. Now, I don't know why I paused there. I paused like I was gonna break, my bad. But as you can see, you see how I do my editing stuff somewhat. But no, yeah, today we're gonna be talking about the first episode for My Hero Academia, and this, you could treat this somewhat as the first impressions of season 6. Now, my history with My Hero Academia has been the best way I could describe it is a love-hate relationship with the series. I do want to bring out what I will be watching video for the fall season, so I'm not going to go into full detail about it, and I don't even go into full detail in that video. I'll bring it up in the next video, but minus the rambling, whatever. Let's talk about this first episode of My Hero Academia. This was a really good first episode. I think My Hero Academia, it had this weird thing where I wasn't really a fan of, where it would either do a recap episode or something that wasn't really related to the overall story or season, or it was, but it was just so inconsequential in a sense. They would sometimes have a recap episode for people who are beginning, and I think in a pragmatic sense, it's useful because people who are jumping into the series can at least get a quick recap of what's been going on, what's been going down, which is good if you just want to jump into the middle of a series if you're a fucking crazy lunatic. But also, I think it gives a decent refresher to everyone where, you haven't watched the series for over a fucking year, so you need that recap. But I think in the day of age of us and how TV and streaming works, those aren't really necessary as much. I get having the recap episodes if we were doing proper weekly TV releases and stuff like that, right? You remember back in the days, late 90s, early 2000s, we would have, some shows would have recap episodes of what happened last week. But that's because, there was no way for us to on demand watch the previous episodes like we usually did. So we didn't have that. So I get why this is still a practice, and it still is useful to an extent, but I personally think it's not the greatest thing. It's not really worth it. So that's just my personal opinion on the whole thing. But I do like them just dropping that, and I hope from here on out they just stop doing the recap first seasons, because I felt like it always just kind of felt like a wet fart of just you waited all this time for the new season to come out only for just the recap episode, so you just gotta wait one more week. And to be fair, one more week isn't that bad, but at the same time, you sit there and you're just so frustrated about it. You're just why do this? I waited a whole year. In the first episode, I see the fucking recap episode or a episode that doesn't even matter. That's extremely that for me personally would be extremely frustrating. I don't know about any of y'all or how that would go. Sorry, my phone. I thought I silenced my phone. So you might hear my phone in the background, so my apologies, because I'm not gonna pause to edit that. But yeah, they get right into the action where we left off with the Paranormal Liberation Front and Shigaraki taking over, Hawks trying his best to figure out what the fuck he's going to do about the situation. And we see that like both sides are basically setting up the stage for the big fight for the war, where the Paranormal Liberation Front setting up their thing and doing whatever, and then the heroes are all gathering together to somewhat like not somewhat, but like truly neutralize the threat. And it starts off, or at least the start of the whole war getting into effect is there's Team Endeavor and there's Team Edshot. And Team Endeavor is going to the Jaku Hospital, where I don't remember the doctor's name, but the doctor that worked with All for One, who is also building the Nomus, they go and they try to infiltrate his place, and it's one of those like, you know, typical shonen bait and switches where they go ahead and it's just like, oh yeah, we got him, it's easy, you know. But obviously his Nomus came out and he was just like, no. Now something that was interesting, right? And Hawks also brings it up too, and is that in the last season, Twice, the hero who can duplicate himself, he couldn't duplicate himself due to trauma. And trauma of him, like, of his people or his clones killing all of themselves and him being the last one. So he didn't know if he was real, he was fake. So he was just like, I'm scared to hurt myself because I really can't, like, I don't know if I'm real or not. And when they broke his arm, in the last season, he realized that, oh yeah, I am the real one. This is me. I am real. Swag. And so he just fucking duplicates the shit out of himself, makes a whole army, takes out basically like with like 90% of he takes out 90% of the Liberation Front on his own. Like, he is a baller man who just like, he's like, fuck all y'all be all being destroyed. And now Hawk does mention that, like, you were just like a whatever criminal villain because of your trauma, but not that you overcame your trauma. You were potentially one of the most dangerous members in this organization now, and I don't know how to deal with you. And it sucks because like Twice is like a pretty nice guy. Like, I would say he's not a villain in the same way that like Toga or Shigaraki or any of them are. He's more of a villain because he hung out with the wrong crowd. Twice is one of those characters that makes me want to explore more of how the My Hero Academia Society truly treats certain individuals in this world, because like you see him and it's like, you know, with all the shit that he's gone through, like if things just changed a tad bit for him, he could have been a hero. And he could have worked through his things a lot more. It's just the people who came and supported him were villains. So he's just like, yeah, you can never be a bad guy if you're helping the people around you. And since society cast him away, but the villains came, he was just like, yeah, like, these are my friends, I help my friends, blah, 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 blah. But that's not the point I'm getting at. There's a scene where Eraser had a fucking, not Aizen. It's Aizawa. There we go. God, I'm sorry. I'm so hyped for Bleach. I'm getting fucking name mixed up. But Aizawa uses his eraser ability on the doctor that helped All for One. Now here's two things. One, I don't remember if he was able to do this, and if he did, it's been a long time since I've watched it, so my apologies. But one of the things that I did notice is that, like, it obviously removed like the person's quirk, and the doctor seemed like he had a quirk where it's aging. So I don't know if either the doctor is able to give those quirks to just his clones or to Twice's clones, or if Twice can duplicate the quirk of certain people with the clones. Not 100% sure. And I don't know if that was, no, it has to be Twice's ability, because I think Toga's ability, she can copy people, but she can't make duplicates. She can only copy herself, but she cannot copy herself and people's abilities. It was very interesting. That's also however, another thing we noticed is that when Aizawa uses his ability on the doctor, who is a clone, one of Twice's clones, we notice that the clone doesn't disappear, which means Eraserhead's ability doesn't work on Twice's clones. Which means Aizawa has to go after the real clone of Twice in order for the ability to stop. Holy, that is... like they clicked in my head watching that. I was just like, oh my god. Twice is potentially one of the most dangerous villains. Obviously with the power up that Shigaraki got last season, that like it works, right? And even before then, I'm pretty sure even if it, like Twice got over his trauma and Shigaraki didn't get that power up that he got last season, I'm pretty sure Shigaraki could win. To just be a lot more difficult. It's just now with his power up, it's just easily disposable Twice. But still, like that is strong. That is very strong. Like Twice could just take care of Aizawa and never be near Aizawa, and Aizawa can't do anything about it. Like he can fight the clones because obviously he has the cloth, but like he can't do much to it, which is kind of terrifying when you think about it. Also, I know this isn't the first time, but we actually got to see I'm forgetting names, dude, but the bunny girl hero, the one that everyone sips over, and to be fair, it's understandable you sit over. I'm always in support of more black heroes in anime and black characters in anime in general. So yeah, you could give that to me, man. Like her, fucking Hibana, and fucking Yorichi, all them. Oh, that's all amazing. But beside the point, though, you see her in action, which is pretty good. So it seems like her and potential other Nomus, or maybe Shigaraki himself, might be going up against her. I hope she doesn't die. Like, if you're a manga reader, don't tell me, because if she dies, I'm gonna get fucking upset. It's like, a lot of people have to die. I feel like we are at the arc where hella people are going to be Game of Thrones. Like, people are gonna get murdered, people are gonna get shot, someone's gonna get, like, obliterated. And I know in the previous season, in like future things, because I got spoiled by Twitter and all that shit, because that's what happens. But like, I know shit that happens after this arc, and I know that, like, you know, we have significant things happen. I'm not gonna say what, because I'm not an asshole, but we have significant things happen. But I have going into this, I have zero idea what this arc holds or what this arc entails at all whatsoever. So that is interesting. But I'm glad we have like the fast pacedness of this arc, because honestly, that is really good. It's really good. Also, the opening, since this is the first episode, I do want to give really good attention to the opening, right? I feel like from previous seasons, this is it's a downgrade musically, but an upgrade visually. Because what they do aesthetically for the opening visuals is that they do a little bit of the comic cell shading a little bit, or like a little bit more of like, you know, it's like animated, more comic book, clean with the anime style. That looks sick. It looks sick. It looks legitimately really good and really nice. But however, the song is it's not great. Like, it's not bad. Like, it's still one of the things where it's just like, oh yeah, cool, yeah. But it's not porn graffiti, and it's not Kanabun. Like, I don't know who the group is, and I swear to God, it's gonna be someone I know personally too, and it's gonna say that. I'm like, God damn it, you guys make good music. The song wasn't that great. Maybe it's a hot take. I don't know what people's opinion on this, but I thought this was personally not a great song. Like, it's okay. It was just like, it's like run of the mill. It was just like, I get it, and you know, the next shirt. I think it's more a sense of, I feel like certain songs need to really fit with how the arc is going. And for me, this song doesn't necessarily give the energy that I think the arc deserves, because this seems like we are going into like a huge arc. Like, this is going to be a war between like a lot of the really big villains and a lot of the really big heroes. We're going to see a lot of like, there's going to be a lot of fucking clashing here. So for the song to be like kind of it kind of sucks. I mean, I was looking for something maybe a little bit like harder in terms of the music, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more like, yeah, this shit's getting real, but we don't get that, and unfortunately, like, I don't feel like that either. I wish I did, but like, it's okay. Visually, I think it's amazing. Visually, it's potentially one of the best visual openings. It's like a very mid musical opening though, unfortunately. And it combines because like, I still won't skip it because visually it looks nice. It's just the music is kind of whatever, honestly. Like, I hate to say it, but like it does just kind of feel like whatever. And you know what? We might get another one at like the 13th episode, because you know anime usually has opening for about what, like 12, unless you're like 12 episodes or like for a whole arc. So I don't know if they're keeping this for the entire the entire like battle or war arc or whatever you want to fucking call this, or if they plan on doing like the 12 episode thing and then having it just for that and then doing a 12 episode thing. It's not gonna be like fucking Chainsaw Man where like every fucking opening is fucking 12 episodes of just different openings, you crazy maniacs. Jesus. But God, did anything else significant happen? I understand it, but I question why they brought in student heroes for this operation, because to me it kind of sounds like they have enough people for it, like they have enough heroes, but obviously, like, you know, everyone can be a villain, you can get hella people to be villains, but like to be a hero and to do that you need a little bit more, like there's a lot more steps to becoming a hero. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I get it, you might need to pull from like the hero schools to do that. My question though, right? Okay, my question, however, I get that UA is the best. I get that UA is the best hero school, and I get that most of the characters that we have been following have been from UA. However, if you were going to do a huge scale, and to be fair, they might later, and I'm not. I used to be talking my ass, and I'm not 100% sure, right? But if you're going to do a huge scale battle on the level that they're trying to do, why not pull from the other schools? I don't even remember the fucking other schools' names. I think the last time we talked about all the schools was what, like, it was the end of season 2, beginning of season 3, like when they had that whole like fucking test or provisional hero license thing. That was the one time they acknowledged that there are other schools. Why not pull from the other schools as well? Like, wouldn't it be cool to just, like, you have as many heroes as you need? So you pull from UA, you pull from another school, you pull from another school. And I get it, I understand it, I completely fucking understand. The hero schools are not anywhere compared to UA, but Jesus Christ, if you're gonna pull the students, at least pull as many students as you can, because there are some really good students, some really cool ones from other schools that couldn't make it into UA, but for some reason I will always stand by it, there are way better heroes than other schools. And when UA has someone who uses a tail, I get it, there's more to being a hero than just fucking having powers. Because you can they make that point with Bakugo and Todoroki, where they have probably two of the best powers in their class, but they don't get licenses because of the way they act and the way that they handle things. I get it, I understand it, I can put the pieces together, and I'm glad that they can acknowledge it, that there's more to being a hero than just having your powers. However, I feel like there should be like a fucking barrier where it's like, no, yeah, you are a great hero, but like, you know, and that goes against what I believe in, where everyone should have the ability to have it. But if you're it's a whole other problem that I have with My Hero Academia, personally. Like, personally, for me, it's something that I have a whole issue with it. Like, okay, I'm going to briefly explain it, but I'm not going to go in depth. So, I think that, like, the original story should have been that anyone can be a superhero, right? No matter who you are, no matter what power you have, as long as you want the drive to help people strong enough, you can become a hero. However, they kill that within the first couple episodes of the actual series when Deku, who doesn't have a power, goes to say Bakugo. All Might acknowledges his abilities, but then gives him one for all. And it doesn't work, in my personal opinion, because you ruin a really good message, and it's one of those things where it's just like, oh, well, like, yeah, you do kind of need powers to be a hero. And okay, fair, if you want to acknowledge that for your world, then fine. But in that case, there are certain people in UA that should not be in that fucking school, and they do make the statement that people can be heroes if you try hard enough. motherfucker. You can't give Deku powers, make him the strongest hero, make him the best in class out of fucking nowhere, and then look at other characters who don't have great fucking powers and be like, yeah, you can be a hero. Those characters should be in different other schools. Like, at least what? Again, it's a whole thing. I'm not gonna go into it. But either way, I don't know why you wouldn't pull from the other schools. It would make sense to pull from the other schools, because you would need as much help as you need from those other schools. So why not just pull from the other schools? And it also would at least bring back older characters that people may have forgot about. They could show off in this series. You could kill a bunch of them, and like, it would still matter because you're killing off future heroes. You're killing off kids. It's like the easiest way to do it, but they don't do it. And it sounds negative. I swear to God, I actually really enjoyed this first episode. It sounds negative as shit, but I promise you, I did really actually enjoy this first episode. That doesn't mean that there aren't things they could have done better to me. This is a great episode. So that's just how I look for it. But yeah, first episode, first impressions. I think I'm gonna enjoy this season. I enjoyed the last season. 3 and 4 were 1 and 2 and great. 1 and 2 were great seasons to me. 3 and 4 were kind of man, whatever. Season 5 has brought my love back from My Hero Academia, and I hope that this season continues that trend of being really good. Now, all you need to do for this season, I don't know if it happens, is you need to give Mirko, I think Mirko was the fucking bunny's name. Whatever the fucking, not Centennial, the fucking dude who can phase through walls. Give him, please, his powers back so he can ball out in this, and I'll be happy. That if he gets his powers back in this and he's able to actually ball out, I will be fucking elated. I'd be excited. I would be happy. It'd be baller. It'd be so fucking baller to see him have his powers back. That's what I want from this season. That's what I want from this season. Have that man ball out with his powers. Bring it back to him. Give it back to him. That's what I want. So yeah, give me that. All right, this review is pretty over. It's gone a lot longer than I assumed or initially thought it did. But thank you all for watching. Check the links in the description. Do that. Click the like button. Subscribe. Check out my music. Check out the podcast. Do this. I might make this a podcast. Not 100% sure. Or I might just upload it to like Spotify and shit, so you guys can have the audio version, so I can get more money, because money is what I need. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys later, and peace.